attend job interviews or you get called in for jobs, but for some reason you don't actually get the job and you don't even understand why? There are mistakes you could be making that could be preventing you from getting that job, and that is what you're going to talk about today. I'm going to take you through the mistakes that people normally make from before you're even called for that interview up to when you're interviewed. If you want to know how you can increase your chances of getting a job, then keep watching this video. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Linda Mary. I come from Nairobi, Kenya. On this channel, we tackle everything to do with self-development and life in general. So I haven't uploaded a video for the past 2 weeks, and while I was away, we reached 100 subscribers. So thank you guys. Thank you for the love and for the support. It may seem like such a small thing, like 100 subscribers, but it means a lot to me. So let's get right into today's video, and if you enjoy it and find it valuable, please like it, leave me a comment, and share it with your friends and your family. So the first mistake you could be making that could be preventing you from getting a job is not naming your documents properly. When you apply for a job, you may be having your cover letter, application letter, you may be having your CV, you may be having your recommendation letter. This differs from one employer to another. But the mistake that normally people make is when you are told submit your documents to maybe this email address, and then you just name the document as CV or curriculum vitae. I mean, if they're asking people to present their CVs and 100 people send CVs written CV, do you know that there's a possibility that your CV could be lost among the hundreds of other CVs? So how should you name your CVs? This is what I normally do. All my documents have my name. If it is a CV, it is written Linda, the name that you're using. If it is Linda Mary, it is Linda Mary CV, Linda Mary cover letter, Linda Mary application letter, Linda Mary recommendation letter. You see? So you never know the process that your employer could be using. Some employers are more organized than others, so maybe the person in charge will be able to put the documents in the right place, in the right folder. But there's a possibility, if maybe your CV stood out and your employer wanted to call you for an interview, and then they have to remember, what was that girl's name? Maybe it was Linda, and now they have to sort through 50 CVs written CV. If you download all of them, just come as CV, CV1, CV2, curriculum vitae 1, curriculum vitae 2. So how do you think this person does not know you? They don't owe you anything. Do you think that they'll want to go through 50 CVs looking for your particular one? If at all, maybe they didn't save it. Immediately they looked at it and they were like, would like this person. Things happen. Maybe they looked at it and they were like, whoa, you would like this person. You've shortlisted this person. Now your CV is nowhere to be found. But if you name it Linda Mary CV, it is easy. It stands out. They're like, yeah, Linda, we are looking for Linda. This is Linda. So it may seem that like such a small thing, but just name your CVs accordingly. Another mistake that you could be making that could be preventing you from getting a job is in how you submit your documents. Looking for the best candidate for your company is not an easy thing. Some people, if you just tell them and submit your CV to this, they just like they don't even compose and they don't put in a subject email. They just upload the documents and forward. Not they just written CV. The email subject is blank. The body is blank. There is no body. Like, it's just a CV you just thrown there. Like, who is that? Write the subject email properly. Application for the position of a sales executive. Application for the position, so that even before someone opens that email, immediately it pops up. They can see this is an application. You see? So if it is just blank, no one will know what the email is all about until they open it, and then until they open your CV to which is written CV. or curriculum vitae. So just make it easier for your employer to spot you and save your documents properly. Still on submitting your details, let's talk about email addresses. People have funny email addresses. If it is a personal email, there's no problem. But I'm thinking a work email. You see something like maybe you've advertised a position and you're waiting for applicants and you see an email come in from juicybabes@gmail.com. This is not even funny. I don't know, hot guy at Hotmail. Bootylicious. Like, what is that? On a serious note, guys, if someone were to see Juicy Babes or the bootylicious things, and this is someone who is very busy, they might mistake it for those spammy emails. You know, those emails that come and tell you about their sexy, horny women around your area who want to connect with you. Not those funny emails. Okay, you can be using such emails. Have a professional email. Mostly, it's good to use your name. It is the simplest way. But there are also other ways. And sometimes, maybe that particular email you wanted to use is taken. It has happened to me. It does not mean that you use the funny ones. Also, even if you don't use the funny ones, there are people who use very, very complicated email addresses, like 7EDCYKL14. What is that? It is not a password. It is just an email address. Don't make it so complicated such that if someone were to start searching for your email, they're like, I give up. Let's choose someone else. Okay. And also, when you're writing that email, please have something on the body. Just maybe thank them for giving you that opportunity to apply for that job, and just say that I'm applying for this position as advertised, maybe whatever place that the employer advertised their job. Keep it short, one paragraph, and looking forward to hearing from you or something. But don't just leave it blank. Submit your details properly. The third mistake you could be making that could be preventing you from getting that job is failing to research on that company. I have made this mistake and I learned from it, because there was a time I saw an advert somewhere, and I think when I saw that job, I was focused on the position rather than the company, you see. And this happens a lot when someone tells you, you know what, there's this job advert for an accountant, and you're an accountant. So the next thing you're like, what? I want this job because, no, accounting is my thing. But where are you going to be an accountant at? Do you know this company? If you don't research on that organization, it can cost you. I attended this interview. The interview was smooth. The interviewers seemed happy with me. They were laughing and smiling, and they were, until it got to a point when one of them asked me, it was a panel interview, until one of them asked me, so what do you know about our company? And I went blank. So that's the time I remembered, Linda, you did not research on this company. That was embarrassing. I think about it now and I'm like, what was wrong with me? So please research about that company, know their mission. You don't need to cram it, just have an idea so you can explain it, even if it is not word for word. Know their mission, know their vision, know their culture. Do they engage in any CSR activities? You can even bring this up. Even if someone doesn't ask you point blank, like, what do you know about our company? You can bring that up in the conversation. Let's say that you learned about their CSR, and maybe there's something in particular they did recently. You can mention it. I'm so excited to work with such a company that maybe promotes, education or helps people in the society, so it gives them that idea that you know what they do. Okay, and this information, we are living in a digital age. You can find this information online. Okay, if you don't, maybe if someone else connected you to this job, ask them about this particular company. Okay. The fourth mistake that could be costing you a job is not following instructions. Each employer has their own instructions which they give out to make their work easier. For example, someone can tell you, instead of sending your application letter separately and sending your CV separately and sending your recommendation letter, maybe put them in one Word document and then save it as PDF. So for you, if you don't even listen to that, you're like, provided they're going to the same employer. You compose an email, you send all the 3 documents, or you send your application letter, and then follow it up with a CV, and then follow it up with a recommendation letter. Your employer will be like, you know what, I'm even too tired, because there's a reason they gave you those instructions, you know. And following instructions is important. Even at your workplace, you'll be given instructions. But if you cannot even follow simple instructions when applying for that job, do you think that you'll follow them when you actually get the job? So your employers will be like, this person looks like they'll be a headache to work with. Another thing, this person looks like they are very disorganized. Okay, so follow instructions. If they tell you submit by this date, submit by that date. Don't wait until the deadline passes and then you call and you're like, is it possible for me to still submit? I mean, what? The next mistake you're going to talk about is bad-mouthing your previous employer or employers. You may resign from a job, you may be fired, you may leave a job because of various circumstances. But when you start bad-mouthing your employer, it makes them wonder, like, if they were to give you this job and you had a disagreement, will you go around bad-mouthing them? There are circumstances whereby your potential employer will definitely know that something happened with your previous employer if they were to call that company or inquire around. Because maybe it was such a huge deal that maybe there's a court case going on, maybe it was such a scandal. You know, there's a way that maybe they will just find out. And if they do and they ask you for an explanation, you can just explain what happened, like in simple terms. Explain without like making the other person look like a terrible person or giving unnecessary information, you know. If you don't want to go into details, you can also say that maybe your time at that place was over. Think of it like a relationship. When you break up with someone and then after some time you move on and then you meet someone else and go on a date, on a first date, and they ask you like, what happened to your previous relationship? It is not the time to start opening and say, that man was like this, he was such an idiot, he did that. Your date will be like, oh my goodness, okay, this person is crazy, like if you were to disagree. So think along those lines, okay? If it is something that needs explanation, explain it in a simple way, or just say that you outgrew the company, maybe you wanted to grow, expand your horizons, wanted anything, but don't badmouth your previous employer. The last mistake that could be preventing you from getting a job is being unprofessional. And this happens right from the time that you send your application, during the interview, and afterwards. Let's say that you've come to the interview and then after that they ask you to come back for a second interview. That is not your time to start complaining and be like, you people are wasting my time, I've already come here, now you want me to come again. Or maybe you went for an interview, they interviewed you, and then they haven't gotten back to you. You can call and find out if they already filled the position. But it's not professional for you to start telling them, you haven't even gotten back to me, I've been waiting. You see, like you're whining, you're complaining. No, be professional at all times. Even when you go for the interview and you meet people, you don't know who is going to interview you. So treat people professionally, be polite and courteous to people from the minute you step into that organization. You know, there are people who get there, they feel like they don't want to talk to anyone, they're just like, you know what, you are the receptionist or you are the cleaner, can you just point me to the boss's office? No, don't have that attitude, because you never really know who is going to interview you. There's a time that I had to interview some people. My boss asked me to place an advert, I did, and then she was like, you know what, Linda, I trust you to just interview the first set of people, and then you're going to shortlist them based on your recommendations. And that's what I did. I was not the boss, but that's what I did. But if someone else, imagine if they were to come in with an attitude, looking down on me because I'm not the boss, I'll be like, no, this person will be difficult to work with. So there's a possibility that I might not recommend them for the next stage, okay? So be professional. So guys, if you want me to talk about how to best prepare for your interview, or how to smash or how to pass that interview, okay, let me know. Just talk to me in the comment section, tell me to do that, and I will do that video, okay? Until next time, Beautiful people, be good to yourself and like this video, subscribe, share it with your friends, your family, your sister, your grandma. Bye guys.